In the realm of Marvel, awakened by the Hero League signing system, I directly sign in. At the outset, I sign in for the source project, Superbody Mordekaiser, shattering Iron Tyrant with a single strike. Signing in as the mechanical pioneer Viktor, I declare, Tony, flesh is frail, ascend with me into glorious evolution. Signing in as the rune mage Ryze, leaving the Ancient One astounded, your mastery of magic is astonishing. Signing in as the cosmic wanderer bard, I engage in contests of strength with divine beings. Signing in as the virtuoso of death Jin, I flourish in carnage, like a flower blooming at dawn. Signing in as the ruined King Vigo, the pain is unbearable. Isolde, where are you? Signing in on Shadow Isles, let the world witness the power of the shadowy domain. Signing in at the Sun Disk, I shall revive the great Shurima here. Signing in for Noxus, where strength grants everyone freedom and wealth. Signing in for the Void Star series, the Overlord series, the Blood Moon series. As the purple sweet potato essence attacks, Sui lightly snaps his fingers, summoning the cosmic Kog'Maw that spans the solar system, devouring its entire fleet in one gulp. Sui muses, invincibility is indeed lonely. Chapter 1. In Marvel, I sign in directly. For 30 years, I have supported you. The asphalt road, once meant for vehicles, is now ravaged with craters as if laid waste by mining machines, with debris scattering in all directions. Under the moonlight and street lamps, one can discern a colossal steel giant gleaming with a terrifying metallic sheen, entangled in a fierce struggle with a flamboyantly colored Iron Man. The jarring sounds of metal clashing resonate incessantly, with the vibrant Iron Man clearly at a disadvantage, being relentlessly thrown and trampled. My company was built from the ground up by me. The steel giant plants a foot upon the Iron Man, the immense force causing the ground to crack and sink. None shall obstruct my path. A roar erupts from the steel giant, followed by a massive hand seizing the Iron Man and forcefully slamming him into a nearby bus. The giant's shoulder armor shifts, and a small rocket is swiftly launched, turning the bus into a fiery inferno. Watching this iconic clash of Iron Tyrant versus Iron Man, Sui feels a surge of delight within. Finally, the battle has begun. System, I wish to sign in. Ding. The system detects that the host is in the renowned scene of Iron Tyrant versus Iron Man, meeting the sign-in criteria. Would you like to proceed? Sign. Ding. Signing in. Signing successful. Congratulations, host, you have acquired the hero template. Source project, Superbody Mordekaiser. The host may transform into this hero using the template or allow the hero to manifest as an independent entity, fully obeying the host's commands. Note, each newly acquired hero template will forcibly transform after 3 minutes. Should the host perish during this transformation period, there is a chance to respawn near any owned buildings, weapons, or heroes. Please be mindful of the timing. Ding. First sign-in successful. Next sign-in time, 7 days later. Next sign-in location, not updated. Nice, I finally signed in successfully. Sui's heart swells with excitement, and he raises a fist to the air in celebration. As he watches the countdown diminish, a smile spreads across his face. Forced transformation? That seems promising since I can respawn. Let me test the potency of this hero template. However, I should leave this place first. It's wise to establish an alibi. Though he has obtained a seemingly remarkable hero template on his first sign-in, Sui remains cognizant of the fact that this is the Marvel Universe, where the omnipresent shield is a considerable nuisance at this stage. Meanwhile, with a deafening explosion, Iron Man is propelled skyward from the wreckage of the bus. Yet, as he descends, the thrusters on his boots and the repulsors in his palms ignite simultaneously, allowing him to hover in the air. Not bad, it's been improved, comes Obadiah's voice from Iron Tyrant, seemingly unfazed by Tony's new flying armor. I made some modifications myself. As Obadiah's words fall, Iron Tyrant's leg armor shifts, powerful jets of air propelling the seemingly bulky Iron Tyrant into the sky. Sir, it seems his armor can also fly, Jarvis reports to Tony after scanning the leg armor in an instant. Report promptly and ascend to maximum altitude. Only 15 power remains. The probability of reaching that altitude is. I can do the calculations myself, just follow orders. As the distance between them closes, Tony commands Jarvis without hesitation. With a whoosh, the two armored figures ascend vertically towards the heavens. At that moment, an alarm blares from a military base. Sir, you won't believe it, that thing is back. Get Colonel Allen on the line and order the planes to take off immediately. A soldier, upon receiving the command, swiftly reaches for the phone, but is halted by a hand pressing down on the switch. Everyone, there's no need, it's just a training exercise. Rodney, with one hand on the phone, calmly addresses the gathered personnel at the base. Since Tony had briefed him on the situation beforehand, Rodney was determined to prevent a repeat of the earlier incident. At this moment, he wears a smile that is both enigmatic and inscrutable. The soldier preparing to dial looks into Rodney's eyes and gradually lowers his hand from the phone. Yes, sir. In the sky, as Iron Tyrant accelerates, the distance to Iron Man diminishes. Energy remaining, 13, sir. Tony disregards Jarvis's warning and continues to issue commands to ascend. 11. Keep flying. As they gain altitude, frost begins to accumulate on Iron Tyrant's armor, while Iron Man's arc reactor flickers urgently, signaling dwindling energy. Energy remaining, 7. Just display it on the screen, there's no need to announce it. Tony has no time to concern himself with these details, his goal is within reach. With Iron Tyrant's relentless acceleration, he finally grasps Iron Man's right leg mid-flight, yanking him forcefully closer. Good thinking, Tony, but my armor is superior in every aspect. From within the armor, Obadiah's voice exudes confidence, mocking Tony's intentions. And how did you address the issue of ice forming on the surface? Tony meets his gaze, speaking slowly. The ice issue? Obadiah echoes the question, perplexed. Yet, in the next moment, he learns the answer. Iron Tyrant, now coated in frost, can no longer maintain its function, the system powers down, and the light in its eyes dims. Perhaps you should devote yourself to further study, Tony remarked with a hint of mockery, subsequently delivering a powerful punch to Iron Monger's face, sending shards of ice scattering in all directions. Deprived of its energy supply, Iron Monger plummeted straight downwards. Tony soared through the sky, adopting the stance of a victor as he gazed down upon the descending Iron Monger. Yet, this historic moment was ruthlessly interrupted by a notification from Jarvis. Only 2 remaining. The Iron Man armor, now beset by such a critically low energy level, could no longer sustain its propulsion. The thrusters flickered ominously, on the brink of a fall akin to that of Iron Monger. Emergency backup power activated. At last, with the thrusters sputtering intermittently, Tony managed to land safely atop the expansive reactor building designated for his company's power supply. Upon landing, Tony immediately reached out to Pepper. Potts. Tony, oh my God, are you alright? Finally re-establishing contact, Pepper promptly inquired about his well-being. I'm about to run out of power, I need to get out of this thing quickly and head over, Tony responded, lifting one hand to remove his faceplate while discarding the armor from his other hand. At that moment, Iron Monger reappeared, charging at him. You had some admirable thoughts. Obadiah's furious voice boomed as his massive fist swung toward Tony. Tony crouched down, narrowly evading the formidable blow, and raised his left hand to unleash the repulsor blast, only to realize it was devoid of armor. Momentarily taken aback, he recalled his intention to shed the suit, having already removed the armor from his left hand. In that fleeting moment of distraction, Iron Monger's other fist struck, propelling Tony through the AI in the Marvel Universe. I awaken to a system of signing in for a League of Heroes, and I immediately proceed to check in. At the onset, I sign in for the Source Project, Super Body Mordekaiser, effortlessly shattering Iron Tyrant with a single blow. I sign in as the mechanical pioneer Viktor, proclaiming, Tony, flesh is frail, ascend with machinery. Join me in the glorious evolution. I sign in as the rune mage Ryze, astonishing the Ancient One. Your mastery of magic is indeed remarkable. I sign in as the cosmic trickster bard, engaging in a contest of strength with various deities. I sign in as the deadly flourish Jinn. I blossom in the midst of carnage, much like a flower at dawn. I sign in as the ruined King Vigo. The pain is unbearable. Isolde, where are you? I sign into the Shadow Isles, allowing the world to witness the power of the shadows. I sign in at the Sun Disk, declaring the revival of the great Shurima. I sign into Noxus with strength. Noxus shall grant freedom and wealth to all. I sign into the Dark Star series, the Conqueror series, the Crimson Moon series. Faced with the onslaught of the purple sweet potato essence, Sui nonchalantly snapped his fingers, summoning Dark Star Cho'guth from across the solar system, who devoured the entire fleet in one gulp. Sui remarked, invincibility is truly a solitary existence. Chapter 1. In the Marvel Universe, I check in directly. For 30 years, I have supported you. The asphalt road, once meant for vehicles, now lay ravaged, resembling a battleground strewn with craters and scattered debris. Bathed in moonlight and the glow of street lamps, one could discern a colossal figure shimmering with a menacing metallic sheen, entangled with a flamboyantly colored Iron Man. The cacophony of metal clashing echoed relentlessly, with the vividly adorned Iron Man clearly at a disadvantage, being repeatedly thrown and trampled. This company was built from the ground up by me. The Iron Giant planted a foot upon the colorful Iron Man, causing the ground to crack and sink under immense force. No one shall obstruct my path. A roar erupted from the Iron Giant, followed by a massive hand seizing the Iron Man and slamming him into a nearby bus. The shoulder armor of the Iron Giant shifted, and a small rocket was launched, engulfing the bus in a fiery explosion. Watching this iconic clash between Iron Tyrant and Iron Man, Sui felt a surge of exhilaration. At last, the battle has commenced. System, I wish to check in. Ding. The system detected that the host is amidst the renowned scene of Iron Tyrant versus Iron Man, qualifying for check-in. Would you like to proceed? Sign me up. Ding. Signing in. Success. Congratulations, host, you have acquired the hero template. Source project, Super Body Mordekaiser. The host may transform into this hero using the hero template or summon the hero as an independent entity. The independently summoned hero possesses its own consciousness and fully obeys the host's commands. Note, each newly acquired hero template will forcibly transform after 3 minutes. Should the host perish during this transformation, a single opportunity to respawn near own buildings, weapons, or heroes will be granted. Please manage your time wisely. Ding. First check-in successful. Next check-in time, 7 days later. Next check-in location, not updated. Nice. Finally, I have successfully checked in. Sui felt a rush of excitement, even throwing a triumphant punch into the air. Observing the countdown diminishing in his view, Sui smiled broadly. Forced transformation, huh? That seems quite favorable. Since I can respawn, let me test the strength of this hero template. However, I should leave this place first. It's wise to have an alibi. Though he had acquired what appeared to be an impressive hero template on his first check-in, Sui was acutely aware that this was the Marvel Universe, where the all-seeing shield posed a formidable challenge at this stage. Meanwhile, with a deafening explosion, Iron Man was propelled into the sky from the wreckage of the bus. However, during his descent, the thrusters on his armor and the repulsor palms simultaneously ignited, allowing him to hover in midair. Quite impressive, isn't it? Obadiah's voice emanated from Iron Tyrant, seemingly unfazed by Tony's newly flying armor. I made some modifications myself. As Obadiah's words echoed, Iron Tyrant's leg armor began to shift, powerful jets of air bursting forth, enabling the seemingly cumbersome Iron Tyrant to ascend into the sky. Sir, it appears his armor can also fly. JRVS swiftly analyzed Iron Tyrant's leg armor and reported to Tony. Report timely, reach maximum altitude. Only 15 power remains. The probability of reaching that height is. I can do the calculations myself, just follow orders. Gazing at the rapidly approaching Iron Tyrant, Tony issued a direct command to JRVS. With a thunderous sound, the two armored figures ascended vertically into the sky. At that moment, an alarm blared at a military base. Sir, you won't believe it, it's back again. Get Colonel Allen on the line, order the planes to take off immediately. A soldier, upon receiving the command, swiftly reached for the phone, only to have his hand pressed down by another. Everyone, there's no need, it's merely a training exercise. Rodney, with one hand on the phone, calmly addressed the gathered personnel at the base. Since Tony had briefed him on the situation beforehand, Rodney was determined to prevent a recurrence of the earlier incident. At this moment, a cryptic smile adorned his face. The soldier preparing to dial met his gaze and slowly lowered his hand from the phone. Understood, sir. In the skies above, with Iron Tyrant accelerating, the distance to Iron Man diminished. Energy remaining 13, sir. Tony disregarded JRVIS's warning and continued to issue commands for ascent. 11. Keep flying. As they ascended, frost began to coat Iron Tyrant's armor, while Iron Man's arc reactor flickered ominously, signaling dwindling energy reserves. Energy remaining 7. Just display it on the screen, no need to vocalize. Tony had no time to spare. His objective was within reach. With Iron Tyrant's relentless acceleration, he finally stretched out his hand, seizing Iron Man's right leg and yanking him close. Good idea, Tony. However, my armor is far more advanced. Obadiah's voice resonated with confidence from within the armor, mocking Tony's aspirations. And how did you solve the icing issue? Tony met his gaze, speaking slowly. The icing issue? Obadiah echoed the question, perplexed. But the answer revealed itself the very next moment. As the ice crusted over Iron Tyrant's surface, the system abruptly powered down, and the light in his eyes dimmed. Perhaps you should conduct a thorough study, Tony remarked with a hint of sarcasm, and then he struck Iron Monger squarely in the face, sending shards of ice scattering in all directions. Deprived of energy, Iron Monger plummeted directly downward. Tony soared through the sky, adopting the demeanor of a victor as he looked down upon the descending Iron Monger. Yet, this historic moment was abruptly interrupted by Ryze's notification. Only 2 remaining. The Iron Man's suit, under such critically low energy, could no longer sustain propulsion. The thrusters flickered ominously, on the brink of descending like Iron Monger. Emergency backup power activated. At last, amidst the sporadic bursts of thrust, Tony safely descended onto the rooftop of his company's large reactor facility. Upon landing, Tony immediately contacted Pepper. "Potts. Tony, my heavens, are you all right?" Finally re-establishing contact, Pepper's first concern was for his safety. "I'm running out of power. I need to remove this thing quickly and come over," Tony replied, one hand lifting his helmet while the other began to detach the armor from his arm, casting it aside. Just then, Iron Monger reappeared, charging at him. "You think you have the upper hand?" Obadiah's furious voice echoed as a massive fist came hurtling towards Tony. Tony crouched low, narrowly avoiding the devastating blow, and raised his left hand to unleash the repulsor blast, only to realize it was empty. Momentarily stunned, he recalled that he had intended to remove his armor, and his left arm was now unprotected. In that fleeting moment of distraction, Iron Monger's other fist struck him, sending Tony flying. In the Marvel Universe, I awaken the Hero League sign-in system, and I sign in directly. At the outset, I secure the source plan, Ultra Body Mordekaiser. Shattering Iron Tyrant with a single blow, I sign in as the mechanical pioneer Viktor, alongside Tony, flesh and blood in a state of frailty, transcending through mechanics. Join me and embrace the glorious evolution. I sign in as the Rune Mage Ryze, leaving the Ancient One utterly astonished at the depth of my magical prowess. I sign in as the Cosmic Wonder Bard, engaging in contests of strength with deities. I sign in as the virtuoso of Death Jin, flourishing amidst carnage. Much like a flower blooming at dawn, I sign in as the ruined King Vigo o' the Pain. Isolde, where are you? I sign into the Shadow Isles. Let the world witness the power of the Shadow Isles. I sign in to the Sun Disk, and I shall bring forth the resurgence of the great Shurima. I sign in to Noxus, where strength begets freedom and wealth for all. I sign into the Dark Star series, the Dominus series, the Blood Moon series. Faced with the onslaught of the purple sweet potato essence, Su merely snapped his fingers, summoning the Dark Star Cho'guth across the solar system, devouring his entire fleet in one gulp. Su declared, "Invincibility is truly lonely." Chapter 1. In the Marvel Universe, signing in directly for 30 years. I have supported you. The asphalt road, once meant for vehicles, now resembles a battlefield ravaged by machinery, pockmarked with craters and strewn with fragments of concrete. Illuminated by moonlight and street lamps, one can discern a colossal figure gleaming with a terrifying metallic sheen, locked in combat with a flamboyantly colored crimson gold Iron Man. The jarring sounds of metal clashing reverberate in the air, and the flamboyant Iron Man is clearly at a disadvantage, being relentlessly battered and trampled. The Steel Giant, a creation born from my own endeavors, stands firm, with a foot planted upon the crimson gold Iron Man. The immense force causes the ground to crack and sink. No one shall obstruct my path. A roar emanates from the Steel Giant, who then seizes the crimson gold Iron Man and hurls him violently into a nearby bus. The shoulder armor of the Steel Giant shifts, launching a small rocket that detonates the bus, engulfing it in flames. Watching this iconic battle of Iron Tyrant versus Iron Man, Suyi's heart swelled with joy. Finally, the conflict has ignited. System, I wish to sign in. Ding. The system detects that the host is situated within the renowned Iron Tyrant versus Iron Man scenario, meeting the sign-in criteria. Would you like to proceed with signing in? Sign. Sign. Ding. Signing in. Sign in successful. Congratulations, host. You have acquired the source plan, Ultra Body Mordekaiser, Hero Template. The host can transform into this hero using the template or summon the hero as an independent entity. The independently manifested hero possesses its own consciousness and will completely obey the host's commands. Note, every newly acquired hero template will forcibly transform after 3 minutes. If death occurs during this transformation period, there will be an opportunity for resurrection near the buildings, weapons, or heroes owned. Please be mindful of the timing. Ding. First sign in successful. Next sign-in time, 7 days later. Next sign-in location, not updated. Nice, I've finally succeeded in signing in. He felt a surge of excitement, even raising his fist to punch the air. Watching the countdown diminish in his field of vision, he smiled broadly. A forced transformation? It seems quite promising. Since resurrection is possible, let me test the strength of this hero template. However, I should first leave this place and secure an alibi. Although the initial sign-in granted a seemingly impressive hero template, he was acutely aware that this was the Marvel Universe, and the omnipresent S-H-I-L-D posed a considerable challenge at this stage. Meanwhile, a deafening explosion erupted as Iron Man was propelled skyward from a wrecked bus. Yet, during his descent, the thrusters in his armor's feet and the repulsors in his palms ignited simultaneously, allowing him to hover in the air. Not bad, it's been upgraded. A voice echoed from Obadiah within the Iron Monger, seemingly unfazed by Tony's new flying armor. I made some improvements myself. As Obadiah's words faded, the armor of the Iron Monger began to shift, powerful gusts of air erupting from it, enabling the seemingly cumbersome machine to ascend into the sky. Sir, his armor appears to have the ability to fly as well. Jarvis quickly scanned and analyzed the leg armor of the Iron Monger, promptly reporting to Tony. Timely report. Ascend to maximum altitude. With only 15 power remaining, the probability of reaching that height. I can calculate that myself. Just follow my lead. As the gap between them closed, Tony issued a direct command to Jarvis. The sound of breaking air resonated as the two suits of armor, one large and one small, ascended vertically towards the heavens. Meanwhile, an alarm blared in military base. Commander, you won't believe it. That thing has returned. Fetch Colonel Allen for me and order the planes to take off urgently. Upon receiving the command, a soldier swiftly reached for the phone to dial, only to have his hand firmly pressed down by another. Everyone, there's no need for alarm. It's merely a training exercise. Rhodey calmly spoke, maintaining his composure as he addressed the personnel at the base. Since Tony had briefed him on the situation beforehand, Rhodey was determined not to let any previous mishaps occur again. At this moment, he wore an enigmatic smile. The soldier, poised to make a call, met his gaze and slowly lowered the phone in his hand. Yes, Commander. Above in the sky, as Iron Monger accelerated relentlessly, the distance to Iron Man diminished. Energy remaining, 13, sir. Ignoring Jarvis's warning, Tony issued a command to continue ascending. 11, keep flying. As the altitude increased, frost began to accumulate on the surface of Iron Monger, while the reactor in Iron Man's chest flickered violently, signaling a critical energy shortage. Energy remaining, 7. Just display it on the screen, no need to vocalize it. Tony had no time to dwell on such matters. His objective was within reach. With Iron Monger gaining speed, he finally seized Iron Man's right leg, yanking him forcefully closer. Nice idea, Tony, but my armor is superior in every aspect. Obadiah's voice, dripping with confidence, echoed from within the armor, mocking Tony's intentions. And how did you resolve the issue of ice accumulation? Tony met his gaze and spoke slowly. Ice accumulation? Obadiah echoed, puzzled by the seemingly nonsensical question. But in the next instant, he discovered the answer. The frost-laden Iron Monger could no longer maintain its integrity. The system abruptly shut down, and the light in its eyes dimmed. You might want to study that a bit more, Tony quipped, then delivered a powerful punch to Iron Monger's face, sending shards of ice scattering. With its power supply severed, Iron Monger plummeted. Tony soared through the sky, looking down on the descending Iron Monger with the poise of Viktor. However, this historic moment was ruthlessly interrupted by Jarvis's alert. Energy remaining, 2. The steel armor, under such low energy, could no longer sustain propulsion. Its thrusters flickered ominously, poised to fall like Iron Monger. Emergency reserve power activated. At last, with a sporadic thrust from the thrusters, Tony landed safely on the rooftop of his company's large reactor. Upon landing, he immediately contacted Pepper. Potts, Tony, my God, are you all right? Pepper, having finally re-established contact, inquired about his safety. I'm about to run out of power. I need to get this thing off quickly and come right over, Tony replied, one hand lifting his helmet while the other began to dismantle the gauntlet, casting it aside. Just then, Iron Monger reappeared, charging towards him. You had a good thought. Obadiah's furious voice emanated from within, and a colossal fist came hurtling towards Tony. He quickly crouched down, narrowly evading the terrifying blow. as he raised his left hand to unleash a repulsor blast against his foe. He realized with dismay that his hand was devoid of armor. Momentarily stunned, Tony recalled that he had intended to remove his suit just moments before, leaving his left arm unprotected. In that fleeting moment of distraction, another fist from the Iron Monger struck him, sending Tony flying through the air.